What's up, everybody? Ryan O'Hara here, and I wanted to talk about Grammarly buying Superhuman today. Now, everybody out there has probably heard about Superhuman. It's an inbox app that you use. You buy Google or Outlook, and you can send your emails into this app, and they teach you all these cool keyboard shortcuts that you can do to make your inbox experience a lot better. Some of it uses machine learning that they call AI, and there's commands and things that you can do to route emails and organize stuff. And honestly, it makes a ton of sense. I mean, the inbox experience hasn't changed in nearly 20 years. But as a founder who's built an inbox application, changing habits and getting people out of their inbox is very difficult. And Grammarly has been one of the most successful companies of all time at getting product-led growth to work as a company, as they have maybe the most downloaded application in Google Chrome store in millions of people's Chrome instances. And it's all because we all have terrible grammar. In the words of Ralph Wiggum, me fail English? That's impossible. So I'm thinking about this and saying, what's another space that needs disruption? What's something that you can do to build a startup and just make it 20 or 30% better than what's out there right now? Well, the first one that jumps in my head is obviously the CRM. Investors, founders, people that work at companies, no one wants to crap on the CRM because it's so commoditized. There's so many CRM companies that are out there. But are any of them really 20 or 30% better than all the other ones? The issue with the CRM is that everything that is in a CRM has been the same since the 70s. So let's pretend that I worked at an ad agency in the 70s and I have a bunch of accounts. They used to have files where they'd keep track of everything that happened on the accounts. As we moved toward the digital era and started putting stuff on computers, you had accounts, you had contacts, you had leads, you had campaigns that you could attach those leads to and how that person came in, and you would have activity that would get kept in a log of these CRMs. And that stuck around from the 70s to the 80s, all the way to when Oracle finally made software for it in the 90s that made them turn into this giant behemoth that we all know about today. Then there was Salesforce. And Salesforce's evolution was all about getting people to stop putting their CRM on a local server in their office and instead make it redundant and available everywhere on the cloud. And that evolution was 20 to 30% better than whatever was out there. And then in the 2010s, we saw HubSpot launch their CRM, and it made a ton of sense for all these small businesses that were using HubSpot for marketing because they could just add that to their stack and make it free and get people to stick on and merge your marketing and your sales together into one centralized platform for all your data. But the issue is the architecture of these CRMs is identical to what it was in the 70s. And the way that we get customers and do things today is completely different. If you use Salesforce or HubSpot or any of these other companies in the CRM space that are out there today, most of the time, they're using things that are still principles that were held in the 70s. And what that means is that you're still doing manual data entry to keep your logs and your information as current as possible. Well, there is one application I've been keeping an eye on that sounds promising out of Boston from HubSpot's former chief product officer, and that's Day.ai. They're actually doing something really interesting. They're sucking in information automatically from sources that we already use. Instead of Salesforce being your middleware that just connects all your apps today, they're using your email and inbox as your middleware. And that's 20 or 30% better and more accurate than anything else that you're gonna go grab using these other applications. And you don't have to buy anything else to use it. Every little thing we put in the CRM, like company size, information, last contact date, emails that you sent, phone numbers, can be grabbed with artificial intelligence. And the structure and the way that we organize a CRM can be completely different today. So if you're someone watching this video and thinking about what do I do in marketing, what do I do in sales, try and figure out a way to make whatever you're doing at your company 20 or 30% better than what's out there. Maybe it's just more practical. Make something that's easier and better than what's already out there and you'll get some growth. Superhuman wasn't that unique. It was an inbox app. There are hundreds of those, but they figured out a way to chisel out and carve out a role, and now they've been acquired by Grammarly. Go see if you can find a way to do that today in a space that you're floating in. And of course, make sure if you're gonna go and take on a heavy, dense filled space, go make a category so all those chumps have to follow you when you crush them. That's it for today. I'll talk to you later.
Pitchfire!